Hello everyone, I'm back with another Unity video. So in this Unity video, I'm going to tell you about some important things like some basics of the Unity, like the navigation and all. So without any late, I will start the video. So first of all, about the navigation. So here we already know about we have already discussed about this project, console, hierarchy, scene and all, right? So all these panels we know about those things, right? Now in the scene view, what if you want to navigate in the scene view? So how you rotate, how you pan and all, right? So I will tell you, I'm going to tell you about this. So first, put this down, okay? Middle mouse button, just click middle mouse button to pan, okay? Just click middle mouse button, only the middle mouse button, and alt middle mouse button, sorry, alt left mouse button, okay? The button which is left to the mouse, okay? Not the one left to you, okay? Middle mouse button to pan, alt left mouse button to rotate, and alt right mouse button to zoom or scroll the middle mouse button to zoom, okay? Click the middle mouse button to pan, alt plus left mouse button to rotate the screen, and alt plus right mouse button to zoom, or you can also use scroll button to zoom in and zoom out, okay? Yeah. Okay, so why now we know about the navigation, and see when I rotate the screen, like I rotate this one with the alt left mouse button, you can also see here the gizmo is also changing. Here you can see the gizmo Y is in the green color, X is in the red color, and Z or Z is in the blue color, okay? Down to that you can see a small word like purse, okay? Purse means it is in the perspective. If you click on that one, you can go to the isometric and again to the perspective, okay? Like that. So these are the things that are available in the scene menu. And yeah, here in this left side of this scene, here in the drop down you can see the shaded, right? So now it isn't shaded, so now you can only see the color of the object. If you click this drop down and you click the wireframe or shaded wireframe, for wireframe you can only see the wireframe, okay? If you click on the wireframe, you can only see the wireframe. If you click the shaded wireframe, you can see both the wireframe and shaded. And if you click shaded, you can only see the shaded. So these are the basics of the scene window, okay? Right? So for now, this is all you need to know about the scene window, okay? So what about the navigation? Middle mouse button to pan, alt left mouse button to rotate, alt right mouse button to zoom or scroll the middle mouse button to zoom. And after that, coming to this game object, okay, this is the most important thing right now, because with the help of this game object we take the primitive objects. Like there are some primitive objects like cube, sphere, capsule, cylinder and all. These are the primitive objects you can take in the Unity, okay? So you can take the game object, like there is a cube, I will delete the cube. If I want a cube, or if I want a plane or a sphere, I can go to the game object here. I can go to the game object here, and I can go to the 3D object and take cube, and same go to the game object, 3D object, sphere, game object, 3D object, capsule, okay? So I have three objects and which are overlaying on the top of each other, right? So you can move those things with the help of gizmos, right? So if I click on an object, we will get this gizmo, and you can change it in the you can move it in the X, you can move it in the Y, and you can move it in the Z, sorry, in the Z, okay? This is the Z and this is the Y. In the Unity, Y axis is up, and in the Blender the Z axis is up, okay? Yeah. So now you get how you know how to take the object with this, and you can also take the object by right clicking here on the hierarchy and go to the 3D object, and you can take the cube, okay? You can take from here, right click 3D object and take the object, or go to the game object, 3D object, or take the object, okay? So that will be you can see in the hierarchy. And coming to the movement, so now I have moved it to, I can move it to X axis, Y axis or Z axis, right? I will move it in the X axis. Now see here, it is highlighted, move tool is highlighted. This is the pan. hand tool or pan tool. You can pan it, or you can use middle mouse button to pan. Always highlight this one so you can get the movement gizmo, right? This is a movement gizmo. If you want the rotate gizmo, you can just click E, or you can click this one. Okay. And for the scaling, you can click R, or you can click this one. Okay. WER. WER are the shortcuts. This is the transform, rect transform tool, like a free transform. Okay. This we use most of time. We use this rect tool for the 2D transforms. Okay. Yeah. Now you W, click the W to movement, E to rotate, and R to scale. So I will click W and click the cylinder and select the cylinder and move it in next. So we have the 3 objects here right now. So how you take the objects? Go to the game object, go to the 3D and take the objects. Are right click, mouse button in the hierarchy and create 3D and take the objects. Okay. Right. And same as a 3D objects, we have the FX, which are particle systems, and you can see if I take the particle systems, these are a particle system. And I can also take the lights, direction light, point light, and all. Okay, different type of lights we have. We can take the lights, and we can also take the audio, video, UI elements are like buttons, images, and all. And we have the camera. You can take the camera. You can only take one camera in one scene, and because we already have a camera, I will delete the second one. Okay. So these are the basics. These are how you take an image, how you move, how you rotate, how you scale. Okay. You can't edit. This is not a 3D software. If you want to edit really, there are some basic editing tools with the help of plugins, like there is something like Poly Edit or something in the Unity Asset Store. With the help of that, you can create a 3D you can get a little bit of 3D editing options. Okay, but don't do the editing in the Unity. We never do that. We use 3D softwares like Blender, 3ds Max, and Maya, Houdini, all these things. Okay. Yeah. So now you know how to take the 3D object or whatever. Okay. Right click and take the objects, or go to the game object and take the objects. Now, yeah, these are the basics. And yeah. So apart from the game object, we have something else in the menu, like file. For the file, if you come to the file, there is some options like to take the new scene. So this is a scene. Okay, this is a scene. We have a sample scene. This is when you create a new scene, we will get only a new scene, not the whole project. Okay, if you click it and new scene, we will just get a new scene. If I click this one and create and save this scene, if you go to the scenes, there is a scene which is a scene before we have took all the objects, right? So that is the sample scene. This is a new scene. You can save the scene. Save. Okay, it is taking some time. Let it take the time. It is reloading the application. See, you can save the scene in the scenes, scene _2, enter. See, we have scenes, different scenes. Scene 2, sample scene. There are different scenes. Okay, these are just scenes, and there is a you can open the scene from here. You can save. You can save the. You can take new project. You can open the existing project. You can save the project. Okay, build settings and build and run. We will discuss this later. Okay, and in the edit, you can you can find the settings like select, deselect, select the children. So these things we will talk about this later. Copy, cut, paste. You all know about these things, right? Control C, Control V, Control X. Duplicate, Control D. If you want to duplicate something, like if I take a right click 3D object cube. If you want to duplicate, you can just click Control D. Okay, you will get another object. Okay, just that is a duplication. Okay, making a clone. And in edit, there are some other options like play, pause, step, which you can find here. Play. You can play the game. Pause, you can pause the game. You can step forward, you can step forward. That's it. Okay. Yeah, these are the kind of things you can find in the edit. In the assets, you can find importing the asset, exporting the package. Like we'll talk about these things, these 3 things. Okay. In the separate when it is time, you will definitely know. This is like there will be some packages which is like custom packages and already made packages in the asset store for the Unity, like .unity packages. You can import those packages from here. Okay, you can import a new asset. Like in order to export something, I'm getting to the topic. Okay, after completing these things, I will come to the importing new asset. Okay, and there is a component. In the components, we have all type of components. Okay, so you can see the components here, and same components you can find here. Okay, you can find the same components here. Okay, you can. This is the add component. Same components you can find here, like physics component, audio, video, rendering component, mesh renderer. All these things you can find here. Okay, in the window, you can add windows. You can remove the windows, like scene window, game window. There are like window, animation windows, animation window. You can keep it here like this. Okay, you can add, you can remove the windows from this. Okay, and help is nothing but help. You will find every, like you will learn the licenses, you can download the updates from here. Okay, this is a help. So now you know how to take the 3D objects, what are the component, window and all, right? So now I come to the import new asset. What is this import new asset? See, I have some like 2D objects or 3D objects, whatever the object may be, 2D or 3D. So I have this 2D images here. Okay, if you want to import 2D or 3D assets, you can just simply drag and drop here. Okay, this is how we import, okay, to the Unity. Just drag and drop to the Unity. Or there is another method is, you can go to the assets, import new asset, click the import new asset and go to the file which you have the files. Like I have 2D game art. In this there are so many 2D arts. So I can take some 2D art from here, right? Okay. Import. You can import. So there are two ways. You can import from this, or you can drag and drop, or also there is another way, that is this is a project window. In the project window, right click mouse button and you can also import. So these options you can find here. Okay, same options you can find by right click on the mouse button on the project window. Okay, if you right click on the project window, you can get the asset options, same these options. Okay, right. So these are the basics, how to import, how to take a 3D object, and what do these things do, right? How to use the mouse, or what is the navigation, right? So if you right click here in the project panel, you will get to import new asset, import package and all. Okay, and another thing we have, create. This create, what is this create? You can find this create here also, assets create, or right click on the project panel and create. You can create a folder here in the Unity, and you can create C# script, you can create a 3D physics material, create a shader, all those things, playable scenes, you can create scene from here also. If you click the scene, go to the scenes folder. If you right click here, create scene, a new scene will appear here, or you can just go to the file and new scene you can create, or assets, create new scene. The same everything you can find here. Okay, the same options you can find here by right clicking on the project panel. Okay, so now you know how to import. Drag or right click in here, or you can go to the assets or import new assets. You can take the 3D objects like from game object 3D object, or right click in the hierarchy and take the 3D object. Okay, and for the navigation, middle mouse button to pan, alt left mouse button to rotate, alt right mouse button to zoom, or middle mouse button, scroll the middle mouse button to zoom in and zoom out. Okay, now so there are components, right? Some components. So every object has its own components, right? Like transform, cube, mesh and all. Okay, so these components you can add from here. If you want any physics component all, you can add from the add component, or you can add from the component itself. Okay, from this one. Okay, yeah. So now you know how to add a component also. You click any object you want to add component and click this add component, and you can use the components here. Okay, fine. So coming to the components, so one last thing I would like to tell you is, for every object, whether it is camera, direction light, cube, sphere, 2D, 3D, whatever the object it is, present in the scene or present in the hierarchy, you can see the components here, right? So for everything there is a common component, which is a transform. Okay, this transform component is a basic like default component, common component to everything. Okay, if you create empty object also. We have an empty here in the Unity, which is a dummy like thing. Okay, you don't find any component here. You can't see the component also. You can't see anything. This empty. You can only find transform. Okay, even if it is a cube or direction light, camera, whatever the object, if you import from the websites, or if you import your own object from your personal computer space, you will find one thing, that is transform. Okay, transform component is the common component to the every object which is present in the Unity. And you have a empty object you can create. Right click and create empty. Okay, I created here, or go to the game object, create empty. Okay, which is a empty dummy object. You can only find a transform to that. Okay, you can just move, rotate and scale, and you can't see. You can see if it is really rotating or not. You can just see the gizmo. Okay, so the empty game object can be turned into anything. Like, see, to a cube there is a mesh filter, mesh renderer, right? So this is an empty object. If I add click the add component, and there is a mesh here, right? So click the mesh, there is a mesh filter. Click I have added the mesh filter. Okay, and I will add another component, add component, mesh renderer. So now for the empty object I have added mesh renderer and mesh filter. Okay, now in the mesh filterer I will add something called these meshes. Like if I add a cube, now I can see a pink color frame or pink color shaded view, like a dummy. Okay, now I have given it a volume. Okay, now in order to see how it looks, you need to add a mesh renderer. Now I have added the mesh renderer. If without the mesh renderer you can't see, so I have added the mesh renderer. Now what I want to, I have given the shape it. Okay, shape, I have given the shape. Now just you can add a material. Like you can create, right click, create the material. Okay, you can just add material. Now see, this cube has a mesh filter, mesh renderer and material, and this empty object is turned into a cube. It is turned into a cube by adding mesh filter, mesh renderer and material, right? So a empty object can convert into anything. Like I have took mesh filter, and in the mesh filter I took cube. If I give here sphere, it will turn into sphere. If I give cylinder, it will turn into sphere, like that. Okay, if I give capsule, it will turn into capsule. Okay, mesh filter is to give it a shape, give it a look, like a volume. Mesh renderer, it is to render it. Okay, to Unity to show it to you. Okay, so this is how you add components. These are the components, and the common component will be the transform component to everything. This is for the position, changing the rotation, changing the scale and all. Okay, so now you know the navigation, how to take the objects, what are the gizmos, what are the shortcuts W, E, R, what are the components, and how to add the components. Okay, what are the components? Components are which give some properties to the objects. Okay, give some value, like give some property, give some settings to the objects. Okay, it gives shape, gives volume, it adds effects, it gets sounds, it adds physics. Okay, everything. Okay, you can add everything from the components. Okay, components are like object properties to that we can add to the objects. Okay, yeah. So now you know the project panel, usage of project panel. Okay, everything you can store here in the project panel. You import to the project panel by just drag and drop, or go to the assets and import new asset, or right click on the project panel and import the new asset. Okay, you can just select all these things and delete. Okay, you can also do that, delete, it will delete. Okay, now you got an idea, right? Now you got an idea about everything. So every basic is covered here. Now by the next video we'll go some further and we will learn about components more, like a rigid body and all. Okay, yeah. So of course I will take it slow. I'm actually taking it slow. Okay, so I'm going through, actually I'm sticking to basics, very low basics. Okay, so I will keep it slow and simple, and so that you will understand. Okay, yeah. So this is it for this video. I hope you learned something from this video. See you in the next video.